the young and the restless spoiler's shock. Michael Baldwin had always been known as a sharp, cunning lawyer, but he wasn't one to abandon his principles. His longtime alliance with Victor Newman had seen him through some of the most difficult and morally ambiguous cases in Genoa City. But now, things were different. Over the years, Victor had changed, hardened, grown colder, and more ruthless in his pursuit of power. For Michael, this new version of Victor was a dangerous one, a man willing to cross any line, betray any ally, and hurt anyone who stood in his way. Once, Michael would have followed Victor into any battle, but now, he found himself drawing clear lines. He was no longer willing to do Victor's dirty work if it meant harming innocent people or destroying lives for the sake of Newman Enterprises. And that, ultimately, was the reason Victor no longer trusted him. Victor had noticed the shift in Michael's attitude. The once unwavering ally was now questioning orders, refusing assignments, and, most infuriatingly, choosing to prioritize ethics over loyalty. For Victor, who valued loyalty above all else, this was unacceptable. And so, their once tight-knit partnership began to fracture. Victor, never one to tolerate dissent, started to look elsewhere for someone who would follow his commands without question. But Michael was no longer afraid to say no. He had learned, over time, that his integrity mattered more than his professional relationship with Victor. It wasn't that Michael had become soft, far from it. He still valued loyalty, but he also valued his own sense of morality. When Victor asked him to carry out one more of his increasingly destructive schemes, Michael had refused, and that had been the final straw. The partnership was broken. Nikki Newman, always sharp and observant, had been watching Victor's transformation for months. She knew better than anyone how Victor's mind worked, how his ambition could push him to dangerous places. In the past, she had turned a blind eye to his darker side, but recently, she had grown tired of his endless betrayals and manipulation. Victor was not just pushing others away, he was pushing her away as well. For years, Nikki had been his loyal wife, standing by his side through countless scandals, lies, and broken promises. But now, Victor had changed so much that she barely recognized the man she had married. He no longer cared about loyalty or love, his only focus was control. And that was what hurt Nikki the most. The man she loved had become someone else, someone she could no longer trust. So, when Nikki found herself confiding in Michael one evening, it was out of sheer desperation. She needed an ally, someone who understood Victor but was no longer under his thumb. Michael was the perfect choice. Michael, Nikki began, her voice low and filled with tension. I need you to help me. Victor is out of control. He's not the man I married anymore. He's different. Michael looked at her, sensing the gravity of what she was about to ask. What do you need, Nikki? I've been watching things unfold, and I agree, Victor is making some dangerous choices. But what exactly are you asking me to do? Nikki's eyes were filled with a mixture of pain and resolve. She knew what she was asking was risky, but it was necessary. I need you to stop him. I need you to help me take him down. Michael raised an eyebrow, surprised but not entirely shocked. He knew Nikki was fed up with Victor, but he hadn't expected her to be ready to betray him so openly. Take him down. You're talking about Victor Newman, the man who built an empire from the ground up. How exactly do you plan to do that? And why now? Nikki took a deep breath. Because if we don't stop him, he's going to destroy everything, himself included. He's already alienating everyone around him. He doesn't trust anyone anymore, not even me. He's willing to do whatever it takes to keep his power, even if it means hurting the people closest to him. I've had enough, Michael. He needs to learn a lesson. Michael was silent for a moment, considering the weight of her words. This wasn't just about business, this was personal. Nikki was hurt, betrayed, and desperate. She wanted to stop Victor, not just to protect herself, but to save him from his own self-destructive path. You're serious about this, Michael said quietly, his voice measured. You want to bring Victor down, even if it means risking everything? Nikki nodded, her expression hardening. Yes. He needs to understand that there are consequences for his actions. I love him, but I can't stand by and watch him become this monster. He's already hurt too many people. If we don't act now, it's only going to get worse. Michael leaned back in his chair, his mind racing. The idea of betraying Victor wasn't one he took lightly. but at the same time, he knew Nikki was right. Victor was on a dangerous path, and if no one stopped him,